Is that iPhone? Android.
Huh?
iPhone?
Android.
Android.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, it's only you. Well, okay. Black. Okay, good morning, everyone. Good Monday morning. I hope everyone is doing well this morning. This is welcome to the Seven Cities Forum. Welcome to the Seven Cities Forums of Hampton Roads. My name is James Slim Overton. I am the Portsmouth segment host, and we welcome you again to this program. All right, you got it right. And we have some guests here this morning, but before we get started, I want to do a public service announcement right quick for you Portsmouth residents. Tonight at the Ebony Heights Civic League is having a candidates forum for candidates for offices for the clerk of circuit court, and the 80th district for the House of Delegates. So it will be tonight at 7 o'clock at the new community church. That's 3615, I believe, Tyneck Road in Portsmouth, Virginia, out in the Churchville area. And Sharon Anderson is the president of the Civic League. So let's go out there so we can vet these candidates and go to many of these forums as you can, because you want to check the consistency of their answers and their comments and their platform to make sure you make the right decision November 5th when you go to vote. So again, at the Ebony Heights Civic League is having a candidates forum tonight at 7 p.m. Be there on time. And it's going to be at 3615 Tyneck Road at the new community church. All right. Now, my special guest this morning is Colonel Marvin Waters and Leah Drake Stitt.
Good morning, James.
Of the Portsmouth Sheriff Department.
Good morning, sir.
And I must say this first, we have both of them are reoccurring guests. I think Marvin has one up on Leah.
He does.
This is his third time being here, so he's no stranger to
love being here.
Yes, to the Seven Cities Forums of Hampton Roads. And I think, Leah, this is your
second time.
Second time. One time she was here for, I think we did a Black History
Yes,
moment.
we did.
Yes.
Yes.
And now she's back here for the Seven Cities. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Excuse me, radio fans. But anyway, we're going to talk about the DARE program, and it's a program that was missing in the city of Portsmouth for some years. It's a national program.
It is.
And when Sheriff Moore was elected, he brought the DARE program back, which I always thought was a very important program, especially for, it's done in conjunction with the Portsmouth public school system.
Yes, it is. Yes,
and it's always been that way, right?
Yes, it is.
The focus hasn't changed, but it's sort of been enhanced a little bit.
It has been enhanced.
So let's talk about that and talk about, well, we're excited about it being back. So talk about how excited you are about it being back. And by the way, Leah Stitt is the director of the DARE program in the city of Portsmouth.
That's correct.
And of course, Colonel Waters is second in command. He's her boss. He's a lot of people's boss.
He is indeed.
But anyway, let's talk about the DARE program, and of course, like I said, we're excited about having it back in the city of Portsmouth for the sake of the students.
Okay, thank you, James. When Sheriff Moore ran for office, one of the things that he said he wanted to bring back to the city of Portsmouth was the DARE program. So he immediately sent 4 people to be trained in the original group, and so that they could come back and we can begin the program within the Portsmouth Public School System. Now, one thing we found in DARE was that they wanted us to take the program to the 5th graders. However, when we looked at our population and began working with our population, we realized that we really needed to begin the program in 3rd grade. So last year, we did start the program in October, and we have gone to each of the elementary schools in Portsmouth and the preschools. So not only are we doing it in the 3rd grade, but we're also working with preschoolers as well.
Okay, and thank you. And tell me a little bit about, well, it was about this time last year when
Yes,
when
it
you
was.
restarted.
Yes.
So, and it's been several programs, graduations that you've had
We
over
have
the
had
years
graduations.
in different schools.
Yes, we go to open houses. We participate in back to school programs. Any activities that are going on at the schools, if they notify us in advance, we come out and we participate. For instance, in fact, tonight we're doing an open house at Hodges Manor, and tomorrow night we're doing another open house at Victory. So we've become involved in schools. We've become involved with the children. Our DARE officers participated in the 5K run with the girls on the run program last year. So we try not only to work with the kids and teach them about DARE, but we try to get the officers in the schools so they can interact with the kids on a daily basis, go out and have lunch with the kids, go to PE with the kids, and just to become involved in the children's lives so that we can develop that relationship between the children and the officers.
Yeah, thank you. And like you said, I think it was one part of Sheriff Moore's platform that he was going to have his officers or his sheriff deputies more involved in the schools.
Yes.
And especially with the DARE program. And I'd like to remind, the voters, when you vet,
yes,
and these candidates and they make these promises on their platform, it's refreshing when you can see that play itself out.
Exactly.
And I encourage you also to continue to watch the candidates so you can hold them accountable if that doesn't happen. But that's not the case here with Sheriff Moore.
And and the thing about the DARE program in Portsmouth, we're doing so much more than any other DARE program. We're involved in more schools, so much so that Sheriff Moore was selected as the DARE Administrator of the Year about a month ago, which was phenomenal since this is our first year coming back. And they decided that against all
hit the ground running.
Yeah, and against all the obstacles that he is facing in the city of Portsmouth, that he has done an excellent job in bringing the program back to Portsmouth, back to the students, and being involved with the Portsmouth Public Schools. Dr. Bracey has embraced us, his staff has embraced us, and we work well together. The Title I program with Ms. Steels, we've been working with her, with the Parent Liaison program. So we are trying to be involved in all aspects of the students' lives.
I got a chance to see a graduation, I think it was at West Haven, and it was, just amazing to see the faces of those young kids and the interaction they have with the sheriff deputies.
It is.
Because everybody's watching, social media now, and you see all these encounters with police officers or law enforcement.
Negative encounters.
Negative encounters.
Exactly.
Encounters, and that's all they show. And we know our children are on those social media outlets, so it's refreshing to see how they are receptive to the officers in uniform.
Oh, they are. And and even when now, during the summer months, when we're not as active in the schools, you should see the children coming up saying, I had DARE last year. I graduated from DARE. I have my DARE certificate. So they're excited about it. And I'll tell you what else we're excited. We're excited about the babies in preschool. Because when we go to preschool, we go to, this year would be, the first half of the year would be at Mount Hermon and Olive Branch. And we work with each of the babies. We even go to the special needs classes to work with the babies to teach them about being safe and being aware of drugs that they should not bother with. So it's really it's a great program, and we're excited about all that we're doing, and we're excited about getting geared up for the new school year, and we're getting ready to send more deputies for training, so we will have more deputies involved. And then this way we can also engage the private schools.
Right.
We're looking now to develop a relationship with the private schools and go in and work with those students as well.
Okay, how important is it to have the public engaged in that? I don't know if you use volunteers to help you with some of the programs, like this event you have coming up, and you talk about that later.
Yes.
How important it is it to have engagement with the public, or have possible volunteers to help you out in some of the programs that you're in?
Well, we actually, DARE itself, the teaching of the program, it has to be a uniformed officer, okay? But however, we have partnered with the military, the Coast Guard, for example, where we can work together. They can come in and assist in the classrooms.
Okay.
We have not yet worked with anyone outside of the military at this time. We have had people to come and want to volunteer, but we have to look at how we can develop that relationship so that we can do it the correct way.
Right, and I guess also I forgot, maybe I should mention that even if you have outside volunteers or the everyday citizens per se, they will have to go through some kind of screening.
They would have to go through screening through the Portsmouth Public School
background checks or something
yes,
like that.
they would have to.
We want to make sure that
Yes.
the kids are safe.
Exactly, at all times. Okay. Safety is what we're all about.
Safety is what you're all about.
Exactly.
And you mentioned earlier the focus before was mostly on drug education,
right.
prevention, but now you're going into more teaching self-esteem and planting those seeds
yes.
early, like you
yes.
said in the preschool
yes.
era.
Yes.
And you know they have nowhere else to go but grow within.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
and that's where we have to reach our kids.
And you're right about that. And in fact, we have some schools have come to us, West Haven being one, who would like for us to work with them on a mentorship program for the girls. So I'm trying to work with Miss Beeman at West Haven so that we can look at ways in which we can have our DARE officers come in at a different time to work with her, to work with these young ladies in school so that they can be young ladies. And so we're looking to develop that as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you want that parental involvement as
yes,
well.
Yes, and that's why we try to make sure that we invite the parents out for graduation so that they can see and hear what their children have learned during the course of the 10 weeks of DARE training within the schools.
Okay, you talked about the level, the elementary, the preschool level. What about the high school, junior high? I'm dating myself.
Yes, you
the
are.
The middle school and the high school level.
Well, we are not there yet. We do have programs within DARE that address middle and high school. However, until we get a number of officers trained, it would just be too much right now.
Yeah, and it had to be sort of a different approach.
A
at
totally
those
different
levels.
approach.
Yeah.
Yes.
For the high
yes.
school, because those well, you know.
Yeah. And you know,
we've all been there in high school.
Yeah,
we know how we are, our attitudes.
You know, one thing DARE has developed too over the years is the opioid crisis within the school system. And so that's one thing that we are looking to, and maybe eventually being able to do some workshops for high school students and middle school students on the opioid crisis. I know the Colonel has been very involved in the opioid situation. In fact, he's made sure that each of us have been trained that we can, if someone has overdosed, we have been given the items that we need in order to help to bring them back should they overdose. So everybody in the department has been trained.
Oh, okay.
So,
now, and I guess that's could be alarming too, because even at that level,
yes,
that y'all are, we have to be concerned about opioid overdose.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Well, it's good that you all are prepared for those kind of situations.
Yes.
But I'm just surprised that it's even needed. But
it is. That's
better
for
to
sure.
be prepared than not be.
Exactly.
So, Colonel, what is how are you involved? I mean, I know you oversee a lot of different programs, but I know DARE's kind of dear to your heart as well.
Well, I was in the original group that had went up to Roanoke for the training. And when the part of the process I'm in now with Ms. Stiff is the selection of the DARE officers and making sure that the curriculum that we're putting out fits the needs of our city. And that was one thing that was key when we all came back and we sat down and we were ready to go into this 5th grade class setting. And we seen that it may be more beneficial at the 3rd grade level. I mean, that was something that we all had to sit down and say, you know what, DARE really needs to be able to be impactful, and this is the most impactful place. And we can sit here today and say that we have over 1,300 graduates.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Within a year.
Within a year.
And like you said, the program is still growing and still looking at different ways to approach the situation and affect these kids.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. I thank you for everything you're doing. So let's talk about the program that's coming up. Well, not program, but the event.
Oh, we're excited. We're really excited because the children, they worked so hard last year and they did such an amazing job last year that the sheriff wanted to reward them for the great works that they had done. So he wanted us to put on Dare Day.
No.
So the Colonel and I, along with Rob Jones, Deputy Jones, we sat down and we developed the plan for Dare Day, which will take place on September the 21st from 1 until 5 p.m. And it's going to be a fun day for the kids as a means of rewarding those kids and those teachers and staff who work so hard through the year.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be at City Park in the city of Portsmouth, and we're going to have a dunk tank where we're going to be dunking somebody. And James, maybe you need to sit in the dunk tank and let us dunk you. But for the dunk tank,
no one would dare dunk me.
oh, I would be the first one. But for the dunk tank, what we wanted to do with that is we want to raise money for American Cancer Society. So for $1, you can dunk an individual.
Oh, okay.
$1 for a ticket, and you can dunk that individual.
It would be worth being dunked for
the Cancer Society. Good cause, that's for sure. And because the sheriff is all about service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everything that we do is about service.
Right.
Even with the various departments, each one has to take on a community service project. So I'm kind of steering away, but I just wanted you to know it's about, because service is the rent we pay for living. That's what I put on all my hashtags on my Facebook page.
Repeat that.
Service is the rent we pay for living. Exactly.
Oh, right.
So, but back to Dare Day, and we're going to have face painting. We're going to have snow popcorn machines and cotton candy machines. There will be bounce houses. We're going to have shows on the stage. We got an MC. We got a disc jockey. We have magicians. It's just going to be a fun-filled day from 1 to 5 at Portsmouth City Park.
It really sounds like that. And this is it's for the graduates, or it's open to the
all
public.
children.
Yeah. So I can come there and get in the bounce house.
Yeah, you come in, get in the bounce house, and but it's pretty much to make all children aware of Dare. And you know what's so interesting? I was in the store, Pollard's, and this guy, an older guy, he was in there with his Dare shirt on. And I said, "Where'd you get a Dare shirt from?" He said, "Oh, I went to Dare in school." I said, "You still got the shirt?" He still had the shirt, so
wow.
it was kind of interesting. And it's interesting too with the kids. We had one little kid, one school we went to, I think it was Churchland Elementary. He was so proud to be in Dare, he had his dad to go out and buy him a shirt. So when he came to class, he had on his Dare shirt, So it's interesting too when the parents come up and say, "Well, I remember I went through Dare, and I'm happy that my child has an opportunity to go through Dare." So it's really it's an excellent program.
Yeah, it's good, like you said, to find those people that have been through it in the past.
Exactly.
To come back and be examples to the ones that you're training now.
And what we're doing for Dare Day as well, we've invited back the old Dare instructors. When Gary Waters was the sheriff and we had the Dare program.
Was that Brenda Lundy?
Brenda Lundy and Button Nose and Leon Whitehurst.
Mr. Mills.
And Mr. Allen, So we've invited those individuals back as well to participate with us for Dare Day.
Yeah, they were very important in the early years of the Dare
they
program.
were.
And I don't know how it got away from us for that period of time, but
I think there was some problem with when SOLs and taking time away from the students from time that they needed to learn for the SOLs, but
the SOLs are still
they're
required.
still there,
So
but Dr. Bracey has embraced it and helped let us go in during the youth encore time.
Oh, okay.
So we go in during the encore time. That's when they're doing PE or art or music. We go once a week, and that's the time that he's allowed us to come in to work with the students in the system.
And the one thing that their curriculum did, before the SOLs came in, it was national. So it was just one set model for all 50 states.
Oh, okay.
So they came in now and done it by state. So Virginia's curriculum now matches the SOL requirement.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So it's
so it all hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
Yeah.
Because it's about citizenship, and those are the things that the students are taking in school now, during their course during the day. Citizenship and how laws are made, and I mean it's just all. It all works together.
Yeah, we really need them to learn that so they can grow up and help us.
Especially citizenship.
Yeah, especially citizenship. And I like the self-esteem part. And,
yes.
Especially with the bullying issues
yes.
that
And there
so
is a
many
piece
of those
on
kids
bullying
face.
that's in there as well.
Because they need to be able to hold their head up high.
Exactly.
Even they might have to go through some things. Kids can be cruel sometimes.
Oh, they can, and the cyberbullying.
Yeah,
that's a major.
That's the
problem.
major thing where they hide
Exactly.
behind that thing. So
Exactly.
I think that's really important. So I wanted to get in this, and this is a bit of a way. Well, I wanted to know first this is different from the Youth Academy, which
Yes.
The Youth Academy gears our young people towards leadership, and we show them the different leadership levels throughout the sheriff department, and they go from what is it, 8-week program?
8 week.
They took them from civil process through the court system, and they went all the way through that program, and then at the end they had a graduation, and they went to Washington D.C. and the National Law Enforcement Museum.
So, and are you dealing with the same ages, or it's not or are you dealing with more of the high school level kids?
With that program, it went from 13 to 18.
Okay.
So we just broke them down by age, and they had different groups.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to bring that up because I just wanted to show the different programs that the sheriff department offers. Although we are focusing on the DARE program today,
Exactly.
but there's some other things that are going on as well.
Absolutely.
Great things are going on in the sheriff's department. Excellent things.
Yeah, and just can't say enough about that, and it's so needed in our community.
It is. It really is.
And I'll just bring this up, and this has probably nothing to do, but the reentry program.
Oh, yes.
You know.
Yes. That's my baby.
Yeah, you're a coordinator on that one as well.
Yes,
that's why I wanted to
indeed.
bring that up.
Yeah.
That reentry program is so important, and that's another part of Sheriff Moore's platform.
Exactly.
When he was running, that he was going to try to create something that had something to do with reform, and not just locking people up.
Exactly. It's
You know,
about rehabilitation.
Rehabilitation,
Exactly.
which is what the jail system was kind of based on.
Exactly.
You know, it's turned into profit and all that stuff now. But talk a little bit about that. I mean, well, you've already had a graduation.
10 young men to graduate.
Right.
10 to graduate, and we only do 10 at a time. We have to have a release date. They cannot become a part of the program until they have a release date. We look for 90 days out, and we partner with DARS, Department of Aging and Rehabilitative Services, with the UP Center. UP Center does our fatherhood program. We also, with the MAN Foundation, they work with them on resume writing and how to interview for a job, how to dress for a job, and how to write your resume.
Right.
So we try to give them the tools that they would need so that when they get out, they have a resource of situation avenues that are available to them,
right.
You know, and because
so often they go out there and that's why the revolving door is created, because they get out there and there's nothing for them to do, or they don't have the skills.
They don't have the skills,
you know.
Exactly. And now we're partnering with TCC too, because we've been trained as ACT facilitators, so we can also work with them on the ACT program, where we can look at where they're proficient, which areas they're proficient in. Also, on tomorrow, we have a group of young men who we're working with TCC, so that they can go and see the type of apprenticeship programs as well as various other programs that TCC is offering. So we try to bring the programs to them. We try to bring motivational speakers in for them, and we have our deputies. Our deputies been trained to facilitate behind bars. We are also speaking at the Hope Beyond Bars conference in October. So we have 5 new guys who've joined our group recently, and our older gentlemen who have graduated, they're serving as mentors for the new young men who've come in. It's been an enriching program. 40 years I worked with children. And if you ever told me that I would be working with these young men behind bars, I would have told you had lost your mind.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, it has been a joy working with them. And
but it all works together.
It
because,
all works together.
We have to deal with both ends of the spectrum.
Exactly.
We have to catch them while they're young, but we can't forget about the ones that have made mistakes.
Exactly.
And just need that second chance.
And that's the thing about it. It's they made the mistakes, but for the grace of God, go I, but they made mistakes, and it's up to us to work with that rehabilitation part to get them prepared to go back into society and do well.
Yeah. Yeah, and it all works together. That's why I'm so appreciative of everything the sheriff is doing. I mean, along with the other things that were already in place, like the grass cutting and checking on the elderly and things like that.
Ramp building. All kinds of putting up tents.
Yeah,
My
putting
goodness.
up tents
Yes.
For people that want them, and it's just amazing. And then to add this part of it too.
Yes.
And I think you brought on people. He brought on people like yourself and Carl Edmonds. Who
Carl
had
Edmonds
the experience
with
the health and behavior.
The health and behavior health.
Right. And I guess he fits right in with what some of the things he's trying to do
and
as well, with his experience.
And with reentry, because he's given me a lot of information. He's given me a lot of foresight of things that I need to do in order to develop the reentry program. He's been very instrumental in that. And then we require the guys to write an autobiography. And I'm telling you what, when you read the autobiographies, you can see where the turn took place in their lives, you know, and it helps them too to focus on.
Maybe they didn't have a DARE program.
That's right. That's right.
They needed
that's
to,
right.
to have that.
Exactly.
You know. So all that works together.
It does. It does.
So, and mention the program again.
DARE Day.
I mean the DARE Day again.
The DARE Day event will be on Saturday. This Saturday. September 21st, which is my daughter's birthday, and she's upset with me because I will not be spending it with her. I will be at DARE Day, and we will have from 1 to 5 at Portsmouth City Park. And I would be remiss not to mention my deputies now because they work extremely hard.
Yes.
Sergeant Andrews is our coordinator, Lieutenant Branch, Lieutenant Johnson, Master Deputy Thomas, and Deputy Pena. They are our DARE officers,
and they certainly deserve
and they are
the
doing
recognition.
doing an amazing job. I'm really pleased with the work that they're doing within the school system.
So, and they're dedicated to.
We have 2 officers who are dedicated to DARE,
right.
And the others they come in to teach during the times in which we're having sessions within the school system. So they have other jobs. I mean, all of them have other jobs to do, but they still come in and do whatever we need within the school system.
Anything you'd like to say, Colonel, to wrap up? Or?
I can say it's come out to DARE Day, and it's going to be a family, fun-filled event.
Exactly.
I would love to get on that dunk tank, but I think I probably have to work that day. But if I can get away, I'll come sit in my suit.
Well, good. Well, come on, that would be impressive.
If I sit it there in my suit, they're gonna have to pay extra.
They're gonna pay extra.
They're gonna have to pay extra. We've got that cleaning bill. But anyway, I like to think. Well, we're coming to the end, but we have a little bit more.
Time went so fast.
Time goes fast when you're having fun.
Yes, it does.
And especially when you're giving the kind of information to the public that you're giving today. We really appreciate that. And way beyond what you're doing. You always, Leah, you've always been involved in the community. I must say this, Leah from her high school days was always a champion in the community, working with the youth. So
yes.
I mean, that was your God-chosen.
Oh, it is indeed. That's for sure.
Task, even back then, and we really appreciate it. And you're still doing it, today.
Thank you, James.
Yes, and I will mention too, she has on the DARE shirt, but it has the Norcom colors.
You got to bring that Norcom in there.
I had to bring that in there every time I can.
But
I got the platform to be able to do that.
But we appreciate you so much too, because you really keep the citizens aware of what's going on in the city of Portsmouth, and that's crucial for those who tend not to read the newspaper or listen to the news because it's so devastating every time you look at it or read it. But for you, it's refreshing to read what you are putting out there and making people think. And others are as well. But you make us think, and which is good, Yeah,
I really appreciate that, and we still have some airtime, so and pretty soon hopefully I'll be going to an hour so we can get telephone calls in here. So I know I'm going to have you all back.
Yeah.
And it'd be good too if we can come back and bring.
Colonel's going for a record.
Oh yeah, he's trying to beat the record.
We have somebody that's reoccurring about mental health, so you might have your hands full trying to beat her record. But anyway, I mean, it's all about. That's why I always like to make sure, because when I say we're going to have you back, I mean that, because it's always something ongoing that we can add to whatever we've done, to make sure the public is fully informed. And we want them to be involved too. An
Exactly.
informed public tends to be more
involved.
involved.
That's
more
true.
involved. And we want them to make sure they go and vote as well.
Exactly.
But we're going to end this, and I want to thank you. And let me mention one more time, tonight, the Ebony Heights Civic League, we're having a candidates forum, and we need everyone in the city of Portsmouth to come out there so you can be informed and you can vet these candidates. And it will be 7 o'clock at the New Community Church on Tyneck Road, 3615 Tyneck Road. Ms. Sharon Anderson is the president. And make sure you come out there tonight at 7 o'clock and do your civic duty and be informed for the November 5th election. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you next week.
Jamie, go ahead.
There you go.
Thank you, everybody. I wanted to show this off.
Oh, come on now.
GPL, Portsmouth, Gulf.
Tune in from 6 to 10
Y'all was
a.m.
sounding good.
Thank you for watching. We appreciate that. And Sharon Anderson, thank you. We'll see you later on tonight. We're going to be out there doing the Facebook Live. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you again.